Hey y'all, it's Sarah Beth. Welcome to my garden this morning. So this morning we're just gonna take a quick garden tour and see how everything's going from last week. I'm in Tennessee, zone 7A, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, hit the notification bell to see the notification when I post the next video, and let's go in the garden. So the garden has changed a lot since last week. We've had pretty much non-stop rain for the past 7 days, and so a lot of things have started to bloom, but a lot of things also have been suffering a lot of pests and different type of bacterial and fungal things. So let me just show you what's going on. You'll probably remember from last week this trellis kind of started breaking because we had our little tornado that came through, and so we've had tons more spaghetti squash on this trellis that have just started to set like in the past several days. Y'all can see there's just tons of squash, and I think it's crazy. This vine has literally started to, like, I kind of had to weave it back this way. This is kind of just going crazy, and I'm just kind of letting it go crazy. I'm at this point where I'm kind of just letting the garden go wild and see what it's gonna do. But yes, so this is overcome by spaghetti squash and butternut squash. So that's just really cool. It has succumbed to a lot of pests. It's just loaded with squash bugs, and it's not liking all this rain and this heat, but that's okay. I just figure once all these fruits are done setting, probably in a couple more weeks here, I'm just gonna go on and rip all these out and probably plant something for cool season, like peas or something like that. Lots and lots of fruits that are ready to be harvested. So we might harvest some today. This morning, we'll see. This one definitely looks ready. Tons and tons of more little fruit setting. You see this? Hopefully these guys will get bigger and they won't be overcome by all this rain and just start to shrivel. That literally has gotten that large in like 2 days. That 2 days ago was this size. Isn't that crazy? But just tons of fruits. There's another one setting, and there's tons inside of here. There's another one over there. So that's super cool. I actually think I might leave these guys on here a little bit longer so they can cure. They're actually not really due to September anyway to be harvested. So we'll go over here to the melon patch. I've got tons of peppers and eggplants that will be ready to be going here pretty soon. Got to get that ready. So we've got several good sized watermelons on here. They are growing, but they are growing slow, just because it has been so hot and it's been raining, and the watermelons don't like these extreme temperatures. And unfortunately, this plant has succumbed to some type of bacterial infection. I've been spraying it with neem oil and putting diatomaceous earth on it, but it seems to still be having a really hard time. The flowers have been falling off and just kind of drying back. Here's a squash bug. There are several more fruits setting on it, but they don't really seem to be doing too much beyond this point. I did notice, I think there's another one right here. Hopefully that guy will get bigger. It's just having a hard time. It's pretty much in survival mode right now. I did notice this one set on it the day before yesterday, and it is getting larger, so that's good. So just gotta train this guy to go back up. This is a bush variety. This is a sugar bush baby, and they don't, their natural habitat isn't to go up, so you have to train them to go up. So there's several good sized ones on here, even though it's stressed out. These aren't ready yet, but they'll be ready soon. And these silverline melons are doing spectacular. Can y'all see that? It's literally just going up itself. That's the great thing about vining plants, is they just kind of go themselves, and you just kind of have to just train them that way. We don't have any fruit on this one right now, just a bunch of male flowers. And on this side, look, we've got a little tiny silverline melon. So that's really cool. So I want to talk about Mother Nature, the environment, the weather, and pest pressure, and kind of what happens to plants. So what happens is when there's so much rain and it's so hot and it's just not ideal for them, they go into survival mode. So if they're suffering with pests like this plant, and you know, bacterial and fungal things, they put all of their energy into just trying to survive. So you might be dealing with fruits that seem like their growth are stunted and just the plant is just not overall doing well. And that's because it literally is just surviving. So if you're having issues like this in your garden, don't fret, don't worry. Hopefully the weather will level out soon and your plants will be back to producing beautiful fruit. And to where the tomatoes and the cucumbers are, and you'll see there's big changes in here. The cucumbers on this set of trellis right here, they're petering out. Like I said last week, they started to suffer massive squash bug and cucumber beetle pressure, and y'all can see here they've just been scorched by sun and they're suffering fungal thing. They were taken over by slugs, so this whole several plants right here are just completely toast, which is super sad. But I think, you know, I'll probably just rip this out so you can see there's one maybe viable cucumber on here. It doesn't look too good. Probably not going to eat that, but there's one on the other side that looks okay. That one is pretty big. I'll probably just go on and rip these out and just directly sow some more cucumbers in here. I have some lemon cucumber, so that will be nice. Beautiful pink zinnia, light pink zinnia. It's absolutely stunning. We did have a rainstorm come in last night again, so some of these zinnias are toppled over. It's a beautiful orange zinnia. We've got another, it looks like orange one coming on here. And this pumpkin plant, unfortunately, it is just plagued with squash bugs. And I've sprayed it several times. I'll show you kind of what the fruit look like. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get ahead of it. So hopefully, well, that's really good. We've got new flowers on it this morning. This is looking a lot better, this kind of outer growth. So hopefully this will be able to kind of, see, this is kind of taken over here. It will be able to kind of just continue on and put tendrils in the ground here. And I didn't want it to do this because you can see my potatoes are coming up. But if that means saving this plant and having to cut it off from the main plant and making little new shoots, I'll have to figure out a trellis here and kind of get it to grow on that, because I really don't want to lose my pumpkin plant. I'm really enjoying the pumpkins right now. They're just absolutely gorgeous and Toby loves them. So they're starting to turn orange, which is super cool. So right now I've got 2 in here. I've not seen any more fruits thrown because the plant is just so stressed out right now. It is making flowers. Y'all can see just milk flowers. There's another really big one. And some more gorgeous zinnias, which this one has been kind of toppled over from the rain. The cucumbers on this set of trellis is not doing as bad, but it is still suffering some pressure from pests. They're just getting really tall for these trellis sets, and the fruits are, even the new ones, they're not looking too healthy just because it's been raining so much. It's kind of doing that moldy thing. But there are a few cucumbers on here that probably need to be harvested. And I'm actually going to leave them on here and let them get larger. There are several here. There's a really big one here, but I'm going to leave them here and just let them get a little larger because I don't plan on doing any more pickling right now. I'm just pretty much saving these for eating fresh. So let's talk about the sunflowers. The sunflowers are doing spectacular. There are several that are dying off that you can see here, but it just has so many flowers on it, which I'm super happy. I wish I could have gotten more of these to germinate. I've been trying inside to germinate some more of these right now, hopefully to plant for this later part of the season into fall and get them going. That one's just absolutely stunning. Look at that ombre. They're super tall. I'll give you a reference of how tall they are for me. Here I am. There's the sunflowers. It is so tall. And here are the heirloom black beauty zucchini. They're doing spectacular. Lots of new growth here, and they're pushing out. I'm certain I'll probably have zucchini to harvest off of this before the first frost, so I can freeze some and make some zucchini bread. I've been working this soil in here Unfortunately, I lost 2 chickens in the past week. Something's been getting in there, either a badger or something like that. And so literally within a couple hours of not being out there, it literally tore it up and just pretty much ate all its inside. So I've been burying the chicken. I buried 1 chicken here to replenish back to the soil, and I buried 1 over in my patch behind my potatoes, and they'll contribute back to the soil and just add so much organic matter to it. But I've been working lots of table scraps and stuff in here, preparing this for spinach. I've got tons of spinach that germinated and broccoli that germinated in the side, so that's super cool. So here are the Creole tomatoes. They're getting extremely tall. I did have to prune a lot of parts of the plants that were just plagued with blight. Y'all can see those. I just kind of threw them there yesterday. And I did notice they were plagued with army caterpillars. So I went and sprayed these with neem yesterday. They were all over and just like putting little holes in them. And I think probably that was adding to all this nasty stuff that's going on. It's just adding so much stress. But they are throwing more flowers. There are several more fruit coming on, which is super cool. And yeah, they're still producing. So that's good, even though they're having issues. I did have several that Toby and I harvested yesterday that were like all like just nasty and like moldy, and I don't know, they were just rancid and like gushy and mushy, and they weren't even red yet. So I don't know, I think they had to probably do with all this fungal stuff that I got off, so I just removed it. This one is almost ready to pick. These are a medium size tomato, several more fruits here. So that's super cool. Hopefully this rain will keep it cooled down. It's really cooled down right now, and hopefully it will dry up a little bit and all these plants will just be able to get back to being happy again. So here's my beefsteaks. They're just doing absolutely amazing. I did prune a bunch of them out yesterday just to give them airflow, and prune suckers out and such like that. They are having a little bit of pest pressure. These don't have those army worms, but they do have, like on the lower leaves, they had some fungal things going on, which is to be expected, but they're just doing amazing. All of them except one has fruit thrown on them, and all of them have flowers. So that's super exciting. Soon I'll be having tons of tomatoes, and I'll be able to make some salsa and can some. This is a beefsteak variety. This is a hybrid. There's a really big guy right there, which is super cool. But yes, tons of fruit. This guy is very large. He's almost above the fence. He's probably about 3 feet tall right now. And several more fruits. And this one doesn't have fruits on it yet, but it's got lots of flowers. And we got some more basil. I harvested some of that yesterday. And some more basil over there. And oh, we can't forget about this garden provider, this bean plant. It is doing great. It is smaller because it has suffered a lot of stress, but it's got flowers on it. So we should have beans soon here. I'm probably going to directly sow, if this pumpkin plant makes it, I don't know, but some maybe along this line right here, because beans will tolerate kind of like a partial shade, and they don't need much. They're not very big, as you can see. Just maybe a couple in here. I'm not certain, but I definitely need to get some more beans going on here. We've got the other sunflower. She's doing good. She's got several blooms about to set on her. And I didn't know if these potatoes were going to do anything or not, but y'all can see here. We've got potatoes coming up. They're doing good. The grass is kind of taking over here. The potatoes, once they get established, they'll take over this grass. Here's another one. Super cool. So I think that one's a fingerling potato right there. And the chives, they're doing better. They were suffering a lot, but they're doing better now that it's rained a lot and it's cooled down. Oh, so that's the other spot where I buried the dead chicken. Oh, super sad, but it's okay. I got to get in here and work all of this and kind of get some weeds out and stuff like that. But I'm going to put the kale back there, I think. Kale or broccoli, I haven't really decided yet. So I don't think I actually showed you the sad tomatoes on the other side. So I'm going to go show you over there really quick. But they're still trying to survive. So you can see it's kind of just, I've let it been taken over by weeds and stuff. But some of them are terrible, and then some of them are trying to make a comeback. Do you guys see that? Like, there's dead there, and then like there's new growth off of this. I don't think that any of these are actually going to produce fruit, but I did actually take some cuttings off of the ones that seem healthy, like these little ones, and I put them in a jar of water inside, and I'm trying to get them to root and clone them. So if I do lose any of these tomatoes, or I want to do succession planting, something happens, I can hopefully just have some more tomato plants. That's super cool. But yeah, this is just super sad. Look at that. Just so sad. So I ripped out all of my kale yesterday and kind of just got in here and weeded. Some basil, harvested a bunch of that. That's doing really well. Probably plant something else in here. Maybe transplant my chamomile in here since I like partial shade. I don't know though, because this soil tends to stay really wet and chamomile doesn't like that. The spearmint and the comfrey is kind of just been taken over by the weather. It doesn't like this heat. It's been scorched. It's gone to seed almost. The lemon balm has completely and totally went to seed. It's just like a jungle over here. So here's the red raspberry. As you can see, it's doing pretty good. Eventually, I'm probably going to have to prune it before the end of the season. But Toby and I harvested our first raspberry off of it yesterday morning. And you can see, look at the little berries. It was so tasty. So I got more basil back here, looking gorgeous. This is definitely looking a lot nicer than the in-ground basil in the pot. I don't know, I think I might put this in the ground because it needs some more space, just constantly harvesting basil off of this. And here's my chamomile. It looked like it was suffering powdery mildew. Yesterday there was just like, you can see there's like these little bugs on it. Can you see that right there? They're like these little white little roly-poly things, and they look to be dead at the moment. Yeah, they're dead because I sprayed them with neem oil, but it just was all covered in like, it looked like powder, which is kind of like powdery mildew, but hopefully that will take care of the issue. I just sprayed a couple more times and it will live. I really don't want to lose my chamomile because I've never had success with German chamomile before, so that's super cool. I've just been harvesting tons of flowers off of it, and I've had a couple cups of tea, which is super nice. Oh, it's so nice out. I see that sky though. It looks like there's another storm coming. So I'm gonna go out right now and give Deke and the donkeys some hay and check the water. Kind of just do a one over and make sure this badger didn't get my last chicken. You okay, girl? You okay? Is there something in there that's bothering you? Some hay. Oh, looks like he's out in the field right now. So, Deke, I'm putting some hay here for you. Oh, he's all the way out there. You coming, yo, man? I put some hay out for you. It looks like he's gonna come. He's thinking about coming. He's like, is the hay better than the grass? Yeah? Have you decided that it's better? Okay. Looks like we're coming in for the hay. Hey, Bubba. Morning. Hey, big old man. Hey. Gosh, you're filthy, sweetheart. You need a bath. I'll be 33 years old next year. So thank y'all for joining me this morning in my garden. I hope y'all are doing great. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. subscribe right here. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to receive my next video update. Till next time, y'all, be blessed.